Hello everybody, it's Mr. Second Amendment, and just doing another Gearology video series here. This is the Battle Belt update, and gear is always changing all the time. Okay, gear is being added, it's being replaced. I've knocked some gear, I've really given some thumbs up on stuff. Stuff's always changing. I want to keep you up to date on what is happening. I'm going to flash up right now the Battle Belt, the original video, just to give you some background. You don't have to watch that though if you just want a gist of some good gear that you can use on the range or whatever your purposing is. What is a Battle Belt? All of a sudden it's there for snapping this on and you've just enhanced or amped up your game when it comes to your capability. There's many reasons why somebody would want to have a Battle Belt or things of that nature, and I'm not going to waste our time on it. Really covered that in the first video. Moving on, just to give you kind of ID this gear, intended deployment, to basically show you what this gear is based around, the ideology here. I teach an AR-15 operators course. We do that once a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. And it's always good to have mags nearby. Honestly, this is kind of a side note. A lot of our training doctrine comes from obviously Travis Haley, Chris Costa with Magpul Dynamics, back before Costa Ludus and Haley Strategic, all that stuff. I think it's hard for anybody to teach an AR-15 operators course without being inspired in some way by those guys. I mean, they're just the Jedi masters of AR-15 dynamics. Dynamics being the key word there. Anyway, side note off, moving on. Firstly, I just got to get hauling through this video. We're going to check the hardware. 1911, I've used so much airtime on this pistol. I'm not going to waste any airtime on it. I'm going to flash up some links if you are heavily interested. Otherwise, I'm going to leave that alone. All right, moving on. The belt has changed since the last time you saw this rig. Okay, this is a Fusion. This is a 1.5 inch rigger's belt, and a traditional rigger's belt in the actual sense of the word, because it's up to 4,000 pounds. And the 4,000 pounds is the weakest link, which is the aluminum buckle. It's the Raptor series that they put on it. Basically, you just quick disconnect, just like that. It's together. That's 4,000 pounds right there. I did the mile per hour tape here just to, when it came back around, I didn't want to have anything loose. I never like to have anything loose hanging out. IFAC is the one exception. I'm going to get to that. But also it adds rigidity. Okay, so it's rigid. It's not something that I'm going to lose. It's very easy to grab. Okay, moving on down the belt. Got a little Leatherman carabiner here. I think you can never have too many carabiners here and there helping you out. Also have a Condor light pouch. Really good quality for the money. Usually I'd be rocking the Fenix PD32 in here, 740 lumens, Fort light settings. Right now though, it's on a different weapon system. It's on the 590A1. Another video coming on that, by the way, so hang tight for that. Moving on, got the Blackhawk single mag, dual mag, pistol holster. I guess the modern way of doing this obviously is the Kydex. We're talking Raven Concealment, all of those guys. There's plenty of good Kydex companies out there, and if you're a little bit crafty and you want to spend some time, you can actually do it yourself. I actually like this. It's tension adjustable. It seems to get the job done. It's seen a little bit of mileage. I actually have two. I have this on the belt, and I have one that I wear every day for concealed. Rocking some Wilson 8-rounders. Big fan of Wilson Combat. I think that goes without saying. Moving on, got the Condor AR mag pouch. Probably of anything on this belt, this is the number one thing that is probably going to change momentarily. Okay, and the reason I don't like this is there is no rigidity. Okay, so grabbing the mags, putting mags back, trying to do just, grab one mag. If I want to grab one mag, this comes out and the other one's loose. Okay, we start rocking those dynamics. We start going from weapon hand to reaction side. Okay, and we're on the ground, we're moving around. It's very easy to lose some mags. This is definitely going to go. Probably looking at the taco pouches, everything like that. Don't want to waste too much airtime on that. We got some standard caps in there, of course. And moving on to the Mark III trench knife. This is from Ontario. How did you not know I don't like, I like old stuff. You can see World War II Rifle Range Day. Really huge fan of the older stuff. This is made by Ontario, modern production, obviously, and very basic. Got a good feel to it. I like a leather bound handle there. Very big for me there. Huge knife. Some people are going to say, whoa, Mr. Second Amendment, that is a monster friggin' knife. And I'm going to agree with you. Yeah, it is. But it's very lightweight. It's kind of deceptive. And it's got good balance. Lightweight, of course. Ounces make pounds. Pounds make pain. Keep that in mind. All right, moving on. Got my Midland here with the different freaks already in it, so depending what range we're on that day, I can dial in on the freaks. Comms are huge. Okay, communications, make sure you got it, especially if you're running a range, you got vehicles coming around. Very important asset to have. Got to make sure batteries are good. Next, got some glow sticks. Glow sticks have about 1.5 million uses. They literally could be their own video. We're talking tape this on top of your ACOG to provide that you know, artificial illumination with the fiber optic band in the middle of the night when there is no sunlight. Mark a trail for casualty, Casevac, stuff like that. So, you know, I'm not even going to waste airtime on that. Moving on, got an AR brush and an MRE spoon. Fieldcraft MRE video is going to explain why this is here. I'm not going to waste airtime on it, kind of a funny reason actually. And we're talking the AR-15 brush in the field. You can use that as a toothbrush. Obviously, we're not in that situation right now. This is really nice to be able to just grab a student's rifle if there's an issue, just start to clear that action. Haven't had to really mess with that a whole lot. I have had to do that from 1911. It gets a little sandy. Kind of facts of life here. Moving on to the IFAC, and I want to thank Mil-Spec Monkey for hooking me up with this. Not for free, I paid for it obviously, but I think it's really cool. They're one of the few people offering something like this. I got the patch, by the way, from Mil-Spec Monkey. That's what I'm talking about. Huge fan of the stuff he's got on there. It's pretty awesome. All right, moving on. IFAC, not going to waste time on it because, boom, guess what? Right there, IFAC video, hook it up. And again, with all my video links, I open them up, you know, I make it so it opens up in a separate window so you don't have to abandon your video. Also got the EMT shears. Let me tell you something about these shears, okay? If I wanted to cut this 6,000 pound rated riggers belt with the EMT shears, it would do it. And it would cut it like a sheet of paper, and I've tried it. Okay, these things work. Awesome. They're not going to be, obviously we don't need these to be sterile, so they can stay outside of the IFAC. Got the blood type on top, although if you ask me, that's probably not as necessary, but hey, it's a very painless and quick step. Why not? I'm going to tuck this guy back in. Okay, moving on. I actually do have a repelling carabiner. This guy's rated up to how many kilonewtons? I'm not a scientist here. 52 is what it looks like, 52 kilonewtons. Don't ask me what that translates to pounds. All I know is that I went to Moab with this thing, and I was able to do some climbing, rappelling, all that cool stuff with that. No issues. Kind of nice to have. Like I said, there's no reason not to have a good, you know, carabiner set hanging around. Okay, this I need to explain. You haven't seen this yet. Okay, one of the big things, especially when it comes to gunshot wounds, things I could be potentially dealing with on a range, God forbid, is going to be some type of gunshot wound. We got blood loss. We got possible, you know, arteries going on. We want to make sure that we have a way to handle that very quickly when the moments, you know, the seconds are counting. So right now, this is the North American Rescue tourniquet pouch. Huge, huge. You know, if I was a combat environment, of course, I'd be taking multiple cat tourniquets and just strapping them, zip tying them everywhere. In this case, because, you know, I'm not going to have to deal with, you know, a single IED that's going to knock out 10 guys, and I got to start, you know, quickly doing a field triage or something like that. All of a sudden, I just grab one from here. Obviously rocking the wonderful, awesome cat tourniquet, combat application tourniquet. These are really cool. This deserves its own video, and I might be doing that soon. Anyway, huge piece of gear to have between this and the TK4 and the Israeli bandage that I could use as a modified tourniquet with a closure strap. Basically, at the end of the day, I got 3 tourniquets here without even busting into a belt. All right, moving on. Leatherman Surge, one of my good Marine buddies here got me this when he was down at 29, and you know, it kind of hooked me up. So this is kind of nice. Possible replacement with the Leatherman Mutt, just because it's designed for an AR-15 series rifle. Kind of got some weird thoughts going on with that, because I hear some people like it, some people don't. Not really sure what to think yet. Maybe I'll have to you know, blaze that trail for you guys, post up a review. Moving on, got my Springfield 1911. Started life as a mil-spec, but things have changed since then, and I'm not going to waste airtime on it. Got the custom mil-spec video if you want to jump into that. If you're a gearhead like me, you want to figure out what's going on here. Blackhawk Serpa holster. Admittedly, not the best holster in the whole world. Obviously, there are better options out there. However, for retention, you know, if you go in the dictionary, you look up the word retention, you're probably going to find the Blackhawk Serpa holster. Okay, this thing will not fall out. Huge fan of that, especially when this belt is just being thrown in the back of a truck. And got I put this on to put the extra through from the Fusion belt. I put the extra through, and then I retensioned it to make sure it was a nice rigid fit. You know, and this is kind of, actually, I didn't explain what the padded Molle portion is. This is kind of finangled from a combat fighting load vest that I was issued that I never really used anyway. not as much. But basically this is an illustration to show you how this belt is just kind of a hodgepodge of jerry-rigged awesome that basically just makes it work. It's just got two things of Molle all around the whole belt with one gap in the middle, and that's where I decided to weave the fusion belt between all the accessories to make it work. It's very solid too, surprisingly. But that is the updated battle belt, depending on what your purposes are. This is something that, yes, I teach a course, I shoot when I'm on the range doing instruction, whatnot. This is something I'm always going to have all the time. However, God forbid there was some type of crazy Hurricane Katrina defensive scenario, this would be the first thing that I'm grabbing, and I'm not going out that door. I'm not going to save my life or be engaged in some type of situation like that without at least wearing this. This is the base layer. This is step one. So I think there might be some stuff in this video you guys can pick from that. Hopefully you enjoy the video. Please comment for questions. I'm just blazing. I'm trucking through this video, and I know there's probably going to be some questions. I fully understand that. So please go ahead and ask. And thanks for watching.